Welcome back, fellas, to another film review where we're going to be going over the 2025 prospects. We're mainly doing the running backs right now, then we're going to hop into the receivers and try to do a few other positions heading forward before the NFL draft. Obviously, after the combine, a few different things can come out, like testing results. Until then, though, we can look at film, stats, and other things to try to grade these prospects and tell you where I like them in comparison to the other players in this draft, as well as just kind of comparing them to some past players and giving them grades and seeing where their best fits are. Those are kind of the main things we go over. But first, we do go over the big five. And for today, we're going to be going over Dylan Sampson. Our big five with Dylan Sampson will be, how is his vision? How is his patience in and through the hole? How is his footwork in and outside the hole? How is his third gear, trying to break away from players? And how is his contact balance? Those are kind of the main five things I look for in a good running back. And if they have all five of those, I think they're going to be a pretty good damn back in the NFL level. But there are some other things to obviously take away from that as well. Starting with the basics. Who is Dylan Sampson? Dylan Sampson is a running back out of Tennessee. He's an early declare, only 20 years old. So we're getting some youth on the man. He weighs 201 pounds, is 5'11", so a little bit on the smaller side for a back. But here are the big things to take away. He's probably going to run in the 4.3s for 40. He's blazing speed. His 100-meter dash in high school was a 10.48. That is insanely fast. So we're going to see some breakaway speed here as well that we will get into on the film. Now, first off, he's going to be in a Tennessee offense that their offensive line ranks 86th on PFF. I should show that for you guys. They rank 86. So you go by run blocking. Obviously, we looked at Caleb earlier this year, where Iowa is ranked at the number 3 spot right here. And now we can scroll down and see exactly where Tennessee lies all the way down here at 86th in the run. The run grade is that bad. Blocking wise, this is just blocking. They're not a good run blocking team. You'll see that on film. I also, throughout this film, have come to the conclusion that Nico struggled a lot this year, which did not help the run game as well. But let's not waste any more time and hop straight to this. Starting out in Oklahoma, this film, specifically Oklahoma, has the worst quality, so I do apologize beforehand. This literally looks like we're watching pixels. I'm well aware. Not a hot look for us, but we do get to see some plays here. I want to get the back angle of this play. This is a vision, footwork. This play has a little bit of everything, so I'm really excited to break this one down for you. Obviously, we're looking at a pin pull, right? So if you're wondering what a pin pull is, that's where you're going to either have, traditionally, Tennessee's a little bit different because they run a very vertical spread offense, but traditionally, these two guys would be either the guard pulling and a tight end pulling. That's normally what a pin pull looks like. But here they're having both of the guys of the tight ends pin pulling here to try to seal this into a hole where the seam will open up right in the A or B gap. And that's exactly kind of what happens. He has something here, but obviously he sees the hat. So he decides to take this inside where he should have him coming across to seal number 10. Doesn't get there in time. But doesn't matter. He's able to get skinny. Again, he's a smaller back, so we'll see more of this, obviously, as he goes forward. Gets skinny, gets through. Contact balance is great. Bouncing off guys, dragging guys, staying on his feet, and getting a few more yards. This is an excellent play, man. Like, all around, gets skinny, doesn't fall down, spins out of it. Like, he's making guys look silly on that play. You absolutely love that. Also, great vision to hit the hole there and patience. He's a very, very decisive back, and we'll see more of that as we keep going through. Next play is going to be against the Georgia Bulldogs. This play is nuts. This play is, again, another play where it's, I'm highlighting the vision for him to do this, but this is nuts. This play is absolutely wild. We might see this multiple times. So he's going to get an outside zone, a stretch zone out of the shotgun, where it's like a speed to try to hit that outside. UGA is not playing games. This is one of the fastest, best defenses in the entire country, especially in the run game. Decides to cut it back, which normally I'm like, big red flag. If he's starting to cut a ton of shit back and try to reverse the field, very little people can do that. The Saquon Barkleys of the world are pretty much like the only ones that can get away with it. Or if you have like Xavier Worthy, John Ross type speed in college. But so I'm like already worried. You see all these guys right here. You're like, yeah, he's cooked. If he tries to go outside, it's just going to end up in a big negative play. Well, what Dylan Sampson does is put his fucking foot in the ground, hard cut, and gets all the way up to the 1-yard line. This is a guy like he just does shit on film where I'm like, yeah, now that's good. Jump cut one, boom, out of there. Explosion. And he puts his foot in the ground to get north and south. And literally makes number 5 do this. He's literally wobbling. Boom. He's so twitchy and explosive and can make people miss at any given time. And this is, again, against the Georgia Bulldogs in the first quarter. It's nuts. It is nuts. Again, I have 4 main games that I'm breaking down. We have Arkansas, Georgia, Florida, Oklahoma. Those are the main ones we're going to be breaking down. There are games that I want to see on film eventually. Alabama, he had a really good game against 26 attempts for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. We don't have the film on that. We also don't have the film on his 27 attempts for 142 yards and 2 touchdowns against Kentucky. Those are 2 very, very good defenses I would love to get film on. Sadly, I just don't have it yet. But I might make a second Dylan Sampson video just on those 2 games alone, depending on the feedback for this one. But we're going to be heading to our next clip here. We're going to be bouncing around games. This is against the Florida Gators, who especially at the end of the season almost had one of the best defenses in the entire country. They were balling at a different level. This is at the end of the game, too. And this is going to look very interesting, right? Obviously, this is a deep coverage must-pass situation. So probably like, why is this going to show any patience in the hole? Well, he gets through, but then look at him. Hold on, let's get this angle instead. Actually, no, we're fine. Look at him pitter-patter. Wait. He knows he's fast. He's waiting for him to come down and him to come down to be able to pick which way he goes here to gain a lot of yards. Sits, boom. And I promise you, you're not getting him. Next. And then here. He can either try to bounce this, trust his speed and go around him, or he can try to swizzle. But again, when you're looking at it, where's the hat? The hat's inside. He's going to try to probably bounce this outside. And again, it's a situation where he needs to get out of bounds, and he does. He finds his way out of bounds. But again, the slowdown here, and then boom. Decisiveness, explosion, gets out, figures his way to get out, and does so. We're going to keep this game going as we're going to have another play here show his footwork right out the gate at 8:38 here. This play right here is going to show great footwork. Again, we're going to want the back angle here. We're looking at footwork. Love this spot. Again, same side zone here. So what this looks like is in normal inside zone, you're hitting the opposite end of the center. Same side, you're hitting the same side. It's quite simple, right? And this is going to open up like the Resi, you'd think. Boom. Does. Now, what can he do? Remember, where are the hats? There's a hat right I'm seeing here. Again, you see this main hat, but there's another hat right here. Hat. And then you have the safety who's still fucking backing up, which is a problem. Like, why is this motherfucker backing up? Sorry, I got distracted. What is he going to do? Boom. Good decision. Great footwork and way to keep the legs moving. Something about Dylan Sampson is like he's 201 pounds, but he plays like he is like 220. Again, footwork in the hole. Again, where I was showing there's a defender, clear guy in the hole. So what does he do? Decisive, great jump cut. And finds his way through the hole, keeps the legs moving. It's the little things you love to see in the hole, especially in a Tennessee offense where it's so vertical that the box becomes pretty condensed. Especially if they start playing man coverage, that he does a really good job there. All right, we're going to see Arkansas here. Once again, I'm going to go over the footwork. Pin pull. Patience. So this, again, I kind of like to do this also as we saw in the first video. Is kind of wrap all of these together. So if I see a play as footwork, patience, and X, we're going to mark it down as both. This is great patience, right? He's going to wait for his guard to pull around. This is what we love to see. Pin pull. Slow. Well, like he easily could have just boom right out the gate and tried to wrap it. Boom. Sees the hole. Gets through. Legs churning. And like it's the little things. It's not a big play. But it's just a good play. Right? Sit. Boom. Cut off his ass and get up the field. He's such a good north and south runner. And again, we saw with Caleb Johnson. You saw the tape if you watched last tape, we watched Caleb Johnson, and we saw so many times where a play like this, he would just fall down. where Dylan Sampson's 201-pound ass, I feel like, is dragging motherfuckers, is churning his legs at a much higher rate, and is able to break tackles in a much more fluid motion. And he's 30 pounds less. This is the same thing I saw with Bucky last year, and everyone said I was insane for it because he was only 190-something pounds, 193 pounds. Well, Dylan Sampson's probably going to weigh in at the combine like 198. And we're going to see the same thing. And everyone's going to be like, oh, well, he's just a smaller back. He's going to be like my RB8. And he's going to come in, keep doing the things he's doing, of being elusive back where he finds the hole, gets north and south, and is able to break big runs with his speed. It's like guys like this pop on tape. You have to take advantage of him. And he's young. He's not old. Okay, next play. This play I love, right? The vision, the footwork of this play makes a running back so happy. So what are we going to get? A little bit of another inside zone stain. Oops. What does that mean? He's going to look to bang this, to bounce this, or to back this. And as we said, again, if you're wondering what that means, like, what does that mean on an inside zone? You can either bang through the A gap, you can bounce out to the C, or you can bounce it back and cut back, right? And again, with how vertical this offense is, the next wide receivers all the way past the second hash over here. So again, they're not going to be worrying about a DB right there. So what does he do? Bang. Great skate. Amazing skate. Boom. Get through, turn your legs. Awesome. Fundamentally sound, great footwork. Fundamentally sound, great footwork. Patience, not there. He sees, he can work here. Boom. Hat shows up. He sees it. Skates. If you're wondering what skates is, you know how like on skis, on skis you kind of do like this motion, right? A skate is where you can do that, but you're almost like jump cutting. And he's doing such a good job of that and floating. Almost like he's floating to the next level. Boom. This is their offense, by the way, real quick. I'll show you like a generic play from this Tennessee offense. It is horrendous. Their offense is very vertical. What do? They want to run a ton of RPOs, and they want to get you vertical. Right? That's what this Tennessee team wants to do off of an RPO. So with the vertical passing scheme, it makes it kind of hard to really be effective against the runs. You're always going to get 5 or 6 in the box, and the other guys are going to be way outside here, and the safeties have a free lane to come down because by the time he gets to him, he ain't going to be here no more. So that's what makes this kind of difficult. Again, this is a normal Tennessee play that we're going to be seeing. It's going to be under, it's going to be a cross, it's going to be an over, and it's going to be a deep, oops, that was a horrible. It's going to be a deep post. It's going to be an under. It's going to be a crosser. And it's going to be an over. Very vertical, right? Very vertical scheme. And as you can see, this offensive line is pretty bad. It's pretty fucking bad. Watch the time. They're rushing 4 with a QB spy. And they get through in a second. Now, again, that's product of the vertical passing scheme, which puts him in passing down situations. And you look at that and you're like, Dylan Sampson, that's not a good pass set, buddy. Hey, not a good pass set. He has a few, it is one of my knocks against him, and we will get to those knocks. Like, that's just unacceptable. Put a shoulder into him, you got to hit him. Square him up. Square him the fuck up. He has some bad pass sets, some bad reps, just like the Caleb one I showed you last time. Actually, I don't even think I showed it, but there's times where Caleb also does it. In the 2 main running backs I've really broken down. Dylan obviously is a smaller back. He is a mid pass blocker, I would say, around there. He does a good job on certain possessions. He had a great job versus Florida. He did an okay job versus Georgia. Obviously, this is a bad clip. He had 1 or 2 bad reps. But for the most part, he's serviceable in that area and can improve. That's an area that I know he can improve, that I'm not really worried about. When I look at backs, if they don't have the footwork at the end of college, if they don't have the third gear, if they don't have those little things, it's really hard to change at the next level. Pass blocking is something that you can really work on, and I think he has the tools to. And right now, he's just not the best at it, but he's really not horrendous. Really not horrendous at it. He also had to do it every fucking play with this offense. Okay, we're heading to... Oh, we're on to third gear. Oh, you want to see something crazy? This is against Georgia. This is awesome. You have to remember, this guy is a 10-4 in high school, 100-meter dash. Probably going to run a 4.3 at the combine. Watch, and you saw my third gear on Caleb. Watch this. You ain't touching his ass. You're not even coming close. Boom. Gone. Shot out of a fucking cannon. Patience, patience, boom. Decisiveness, down the field. You're not even scraping him. In Georgia. Again, he sees the cut. As soon as he gets his foot in the ground, if you don't have an angle on his ass, like 20, you're cooked. You have no chance. No chance. And these are the best athletes in the world on Georgia. The best athletes. No chance. He's so fucking... His acceleration is next level. Third gear again. Boom. Cut it outside. Get up the field. Like, decisiveness. Great. Great jump cut. Boom. Get out. You're not getting to him. Like, that's free. This linebacker is an absolute cone for this. Like, you are not doing your job. That is not your job. Boom. Gone. Like, it's 10 yards. It's nuts, dude. He's fast as fuck. We're back to the super shitty film here. But we have to show the third gear here. Sit it. Sit it. First off, if this is Caleb Johnson, he's tackled. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be hating on Caleb, but he's just like the one example I really have of tape. He doesn't go down, stays up, great contact balance, able to accelerate to the next level. Let's get it from the other view. Again, this is filmed on a literal potato. Stays in the hole, stays up, good balance. And that acceleration from like 0 to like his 70 right here, like he's stumbling. And he's going to accelerate all the way to the 5 by the time these guys can't even collapse in time. From this 5 to this 5, flash. It's nuts. It's nuts. Okay, next. I love breaking down Florida tape. This Florida D-line caused havoc in this Tennessee backfield. Like, actually made these O-linemen look horrendous. Third gear right here. What's going to happen? A little pin pull action. Gets around. Breaks an arm tackle. Hepatitis, see you later. You ain't touching his ass. Breaks an arm tackle. Good contact balance. And again, dude, he doesn't go down easy. He's not a back that goes down super easy. And once he gets to the next level, good luck. Good luck. It's really hard to catch him. All right. I've gone over a ton of those. We can go over more contact balance ones if we want, but we see it time and time again. Florida, this one we can go over contact balance as well. This is just a power play. You never see him in power in this offense. So here's a power look, but they run this nearly at the goal line. They run this only at the goal line. Here's what he would look like if he was on the Chargers. Boom. Get through. He doesn't go down the first tackle. He does not go down easy. He loves the spin move, and I love the spin move. I think it's gritty. Boom. Gets in the end zone. Finds a way. This is why I'm like very confident. I think he could play in almost any offense. Truly. Truly. If you put him in single back, he might be better. Here's another one that just, it's amazing to watch. It's amazing to watch him cook. Here you go. Cuts it back. Shakes one. And falls forward. And you're probably like, gut, that's a nothing play. It's a nothing play, but he's falling forward off. Like, this is such a shitty position to be in where, excuse me. Like, this is such a shitty position to be in where he easily could have just, like, folded like a lawn chair, gone down. Nope, spins out of it, tries to stay up, gets hit in the knee, still falls forward. I think it's just like, I see a guy that's 201 pounds, and I've yet to see him get, like, blown back. It's nuts. And I've watched multiple full game, like 4 full games against great SEC schools. All right, here we go. Against Georgia. Get another pin pull counter. Gets through. This man, by the way, let's just mark this out. This man right here is about 280 pounds. And he's fucking dragging him for extra yards. Does he get thrown at the back? Thrown at the bottom? Sure. at the end of the play? Sure. 1, 2, 3, about 2 to 2.5 extra yards after that for 280 pounds, like 80 pounds on his ass. Pause. Like, he just does not give the fuck up. He doesn't give up. And I love that about a player. All right. I'll skip to the key takeaways. We're not going to waste any more of your time. Listen, I love Dylan Sampson film. And I don't think we're going to get much of this. I feel like I'm normally a generational hater. And I'm a pretty negative guy on prospects. I just don't think a lot of guys pan out. And last year, people hated me because of it when I voiced my opinions on like BDG and shit when I was like, I just don't love every prospect. I don't think they're all great. And I'm going to be honest, we're going to see a lot more C's and D's in this grade than we're going to see a lot of A's. There's going to be very few backs, I think, get that. But I'm going to be giving Dylan Sampson an A grade here. I think he is a phenomenal back with a ton of upside in almost any offense he goes through. Some key takeaways. One, he's a very hard north and south runner. He gets up the field fast and is decisive. You don't find that often in a running back in the college level where he truly knows exactly where he's going to go with the ball in his hands. You look at last year, Trey Benton and Marshawn Lloyd, two guys I was completely off of because they were indecisive and east and west runners. You can't win with east and west runners in the NFL. There's a reason they're not really on the field that much. North and south is the way to go, and especially when a back with this explosion and this much power behind him is doing it. His contact balance is great. We've seen multiple clips now. He doesn't go down super easy, and he chugs forward for multiple yards after contact against players in the SEC that are going to make it to the NFL. He's not playing cupcakes. He's a very explosive runner. Again, he's going to probably be a 4.3 guy, and he ran a 10.48 100-meter dash. And I'll give you the comparison here in a second of why I keep saying that's so important. I think he could be great in almost any scheme. We obviously saw him out of the single back set when he was at the goal line set. And now, obviously, we don't have a ton of sample size of that, but I think he can make almost any scheme work. Again, a very explosive back, very used to the downhill running. He fights for extra yards, which you'd love to see. His route tree, now to the negative side of things, route tree is very questionable. Didn't see a lot of routes out of this Tennessee offense, a lot of flats, a lot of wheels, a lot of stuff like that where it's just, I want to see him run more choice routes and whatnot. We just didn't get to see much of that. So sadly, that is kind of the main problems that I am feeling here with him. But again, we don't really know. We don't have a huge sample size. If we get an offense where we can really get him going, his hands are questionable. They're all right. They're nothing fantastic. They're no more running back hands. I'm not too worried about that. And again, mid to okay pass blocker. He gets the job done. I think he can improve at the next level for sure. Again, if someone like Bucky can do it, who I thought was a pretty bad pass blocker, I think he'll be just fine at 201 on his size and frame, and he's not afraid of contact. Some of the best fits I have for him are going to be the Saints, Broncos, Browns, and Cowboys. Obviously, there's a lot of question marks there with head coaches, but I think the Broncos make a ton of sense. They need a great back. They need an explosive back. They like the guys like Jaleel McLaughlin, and this guy's a perfect mix between Javonte and Jaleel. He has the size. He has the explosion. He can be a workhorse back in this offense, kind of like an Alvin Kamara was when Sean Payton first was with the Saints before he went to the Broncos. And it could be a very interesting pairing there, and I think that could make a lot of things work there as well. I also really like the Browns as they're going to be a running back needy team, and they just have a great run scheme with a solid O-line. I think as long as they get the quarterback position kind of figured out, Dylan Sampson could be a great late second-round grab for them, early second-round grab for them to take them at the next level. Again, I'm going to give him a higher grade. Like, I think he's an early second for me. I think I would take him early to mid-second, and I'm not like I think he's that guy. Will he probably go there? No. He'll probably be a late second to third round player, but I think his talent and his speed and everything I'm seeing on tape, like, he pops for me. He's one of those running backs that just pop out the page, and I really like him. Cowboys are another one, but they're probably going to land Genty, but they're just a notable team that I think could use another running back, and I think he'd be a great fit. And obviously the Saints with Clint Kubiak, as long as he stays, it could be interesting to see what he does in that offense, almost overtaking Alvin Kamara, Tennessee for Tennessee back as well. Again, he's also running behind a bad offensive line in Tennessee, right? 86th rank run grade. They're not good. Compared to guys like Caleb, compared to guys like Omari and Hanson, who we're going to get into, compared to guys, even Ashton Genty is a better O-line at Boise State. This Tennessee O-line got killed time and time again. He was able to make a lot of plays, over 1,400 yards rushing. He has all the stats. All these stat guys want to bring all these stats of this and that. He made it happen with a bad O-line. Those are things I look for, and you're probably like, okay, let's get to the comp. This is going to be outrageous, and you saw me compare the last one to Jamal Williams. You're probably like, well, we're going to get a lot of those Jamal Williams, Michael Turner type. And I'm going to show you this for proof. I am fully convinced that he is this man. You tell me who this guy is real quick. We're watching this in 144p, but this is a little old film. Okay? Tell me this isn't the same runner. Get north and south with a lot of speed. Okay? Now we're going to watch another play. He's, again, running out of a different form of he's running out of the eye, but north and south runner puts his head down, gets a few extra yards. A lot of speed. They're about the same size. What does he do here? He's out of the gun. Going to do a dual back set. Goes to the outside zone. Finds the hole, kicks it up. Gets a few extra yards. Always falling forward. But he has this in his bag as well. Again, finds a cut, cuts back up, gets north and south. His very similar running style as well. They look the same when they run. And if you don't know who this is by now, this is Chris Johnson, CJ2K, who I think he could play very similar to. Is he going to have the career CJ had? Probably not. I would have to say probably not. But on tape, watching from college, he reminds me so similarly of just the running style, the shiftiness, the twitchiness, the explosion, everything. And also not only that, but the uncanny familiarities here. CJ2K ran a 10.38 high school. I think he was in college. 100-meter dash. 10th of a second off from the 100-meter dash difference there. CJ2K came in at 5'11", 195 pounds. So Dylan has another 6 to 7 pounds on his ass. And again, we'll see what he weighs in at the combine. I think they're going to run, obviously, CJ ran a 4.24. I don't think he's going to run that, but I think Dylan will run probably a low 4.3. Might be able to crack the high 4.2s. I highly doubt it, but we'll see. I have him sitting probably around the 4.33 to 4.37 mark. I think that's where Dylan will probably fall. Maybe he runs a bad time and gets into the 4.4s. I highly doubt it, but we'll see. He's an explosive back, great runner, insane explosion. I think he's a huge career upside. I'm so high on this motherfucker. I love the tape. I love what I see on film. I think he can be at that next level of that guy. So this is my first, I really love this back on this channel. We'll see how many we get throughout the recruiting season. But yeah, Dylan Sampson, A grade for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys are high or low on this type of player. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.